day when my week is on emergencies.
Is it thought to leave that out and let it warm up for a bit, or do you want to try it now?
I'm going to try it now. I'm going to roll it to the wellhead.
Yeah, and then we'll slide back.
And then I'll pull it back as we push it through.
Okay.
And if it don't go, we're going to wait.
Give it some time to warm up.
Yep.
Okay.
But it's probably not going to get that hot today, so we'll probably wait all evening, right? Yes.
So let's hop down there. We're going to put the black pipe inside the gray sleeve. And so this gray sleeve back here is going to go underneath the foundation, and then it goes into the garage, and then it comes up in the mechanical room. And what that does is, if there's ever an issue with the water line or whatever, that they could pull the water line out underneath the concrete in the garage and replace that water line without having to tear out the concrete floor. So, a little extra work up front, but it could save all sorts of headache down the road. So that's what we're working on here. We're gonna have a little bit of a goat rodeo trying to wrestle this stiff 2-inch pipe and get it into a 3-inch conduit. So, kind of reminds me of the honeymoon, but there weren't this many guys there.
Well, yeah. Just hit it hard. Okay, hang on. Hang on.
Scotty, will you grab us a shovel? We gotta knock out this hill. Get it to lay down a little better.
Well,
Want some more?
not yet. That should give us enough length because we'll just push the rest that way a little bit.
Yeah, or pull some back.
Depending.
We can adjust.
Yeah. Okay, what we need here?
So here in the garage, we've run our pipe in underneath the foundation, and we're going to slide on some more pipe, and then an elbow or a 90, and then come up the wall.
Okay, you got that? I got this.
Pace yourself, we're going to be here all day. You got is this the pump? Ooh, beautiful.
That's it.
So, what specs did he go? Is this horse and a half?
2 horse.
2 horse?
And then he went with a 1.5 horse liquid end. And then I just run it to slightly higher hertz. Typically they come with a 1 horse pump in, so he's upgrading to 1.5 horse.
Wow.
And if in the event, in a couple years, he thinks, man, I want a little bit more water, we can spend the bucks, keep this pump in, put a 3 horse motor on it, 3 horse drive, and away to go.
And what would be that cost to change out?
It'd be a ton of money. Ridiculousness, but
it is an option.
It's an option.
Yeah.
We didn't go that way because I didn't feel, if it was me, I wouldn't bother.
Where's home for you? Where are you at?
Bonner's Ferry.
Yeah, so I'm in Sandpoint.
Right on.
Up Sully Valley.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do a bit of work out there.
Because you're going to be coming to my house and do mine here shortly.
Right on. Sounds like a plan. I just got to get my shovels buried. I loaded for bear, literally.
Literally. It is that season.
I got 1 inch to go through because he talked about maybe not being able to
get through
a hydrant, or if I couldn't get it, at least I have the 1 inch with me.
Yeah.
This is from an emergency. I brought the upgraded number 10.
We're good to go.
Whoever did this right here did a great job.
Not my first rodeo.
Did a great job. You can't believe how many times
an excavator doesn't get you right up next to the
right
pipe.
There, and I'm digging a tunnel, and you can't turn wrenches.
Yeah.
And I love this.
Well, come by anytime. We like to roll out the red carpet.
Yeah, I like that. And you didn't wait till August, so this stuff here was like
hard as a rock.
Shale. Nice and deep, huh?
Well, my experience is that you're better to go too deep than find out the hard way with a frozen water line.
So I'm glad I brought the 5-foot hydrant. Unless you guys are doing that part.
No, I don't. I'm just moving dirt.
Cool. If I know that the excavator guys are doing some of the plumbing, I let them do it all.
Yeah.
Because then if they mess up, it's their expense. And not me hiring it out, you know?
Yes.
But I do a good enough job, I hope. I don't even think that way.
It looks really nice.
Alright, I think you're good.
Nice work. Should we give that a second? So my thought is we'll take the Sawzall, cut like a 3-foot piece, and then slide it on.
Okay.
So that it gets up above the floor and through the concrete. And
I'll go find your Sawzall. There you go.
awesome.
Okay, clean her all off.
Get it up, set. All right.
Push towards me. No. There. That was a lot easier.
Yeah, it was.
Might have even been a little bit smarter.
What's that?
Oh, we swapped the side that you were on.
Definitely smarter. I didn't know what I was doing. I shoved it in there.
This guy once told me work smarter, not harder.
Do you want us to cut you a short, like, piece of that?
Oh,
Grab the Sawzall and cut him like a...
You know, I'll probably come up with maybe some Schedule 80s to the floor,
Okay,
to the concrete.
gotcha.
And then, you guys actually, if you, yeah, that's kind of redundant. I was going to say, if you wanted to throw a sleeve over that through the concrete. But
In other words, hold the concrete back away from the pipe so it can move without being attached to the concrete.
right.
So I was just going to wrap some foam around it and then some tape around the foam.
That is
oh, okay, cool. So we just need to dig a little bit.
no problem.
Okay, then let's do that.
This right here. And if you're going to wrap it with tape anyway, I'll just grab a chunk of this when I'm done.
Oh, barely.
George,
barely.
grab him a 2-foot stick of that 1 1/4 and stick it on there.
Okay.
2-foot stick, 1
Cool.
1/4 bell end.
It don't even need to get a bell in. Straight piece.
Make the stand on this, huh? Okay, I'm standing on the pipe over here. I'm standing on the pipe
Just so we don't...
so we don't
Pull
pull
it
it back
out.
out.
Yeah. I just remembered if they don't stick that in. I didn't put my blue tracer wires in. Okay. I just need a shovel. Shovel.
Scotty,
Got it.
Well, if we do have a compressor, we could. If you have a compressor, you can maybe blow.
No, I'm sure he's got a fish tape.
You know what? I got
You
fish
got
tape.
fish
I'll run
tape?
it from the other side
Okay.
and pull my string in there.
Okay.
If not, they're okay with it if I just bring it up on the outside of the foundation.
What's that?
The tracer wire.
Oh, okay.
And so, if it don't go through, I'm not going to fight it. I totally meet code by only having one end exposed. I mean, even if I just shoved it in the pipe as far as we'll go and stop. All right. Look kindly. There's probably about a yard right behind me that I'm not looking at. All right, I'm gonna finish my conduit.
So talk to me real quick about what you're doing and why.
So basically, I'm installing a pitless adapter, and it makes a connection inside the well that I can always access. So if I ever want to come work on this, I can lower a pipe in there, thread into it, pull it straight up and out of here.
Gotcha.
The pump actually hangs on this pitless adapter.
Gotcha.
So I drill a hole in here, put my piece from the inside, put a nut on, and the other side I pull out.
Gotcha.
So it's pretty basic, simple operation. And yes, my bit is very dull.
It's not exactly like a hot knife through butter. So is it a 2-inch hole that you end up with there?
You know what? It's actually a 2 1/4.
1/4. That leaves room for a 2-inch pipe to go through.
Well, yeah, it's for the adapter thread. So it'll be a little bit noisy. And you always do this on high speed.
That's unbelievable. Remember the good old days where we had like Makita 9.6 volt batteries and we're like, awesome, we can drill holes. You just drilled through a 1/4-inch steel with a cordless drill. So you can see here we've got the top of the well casing and we're down about, 5 feet below the ground, and we're putting in our pitless connector. And you can see some of this odd colored stuff here. This is bentonite, and it gets poured in around the casing, and it swells up and seals between the casing and other soils to keep water from going down the well. Okay. This is the pitless?
This is the pitless adapter, and this part here, it's not coming out real easy for us at the moment, but
that's good. It's got a good fit. Okay.
It's more like this.
Right.
So this part here, the pump hangs on it. This is permanent in the well casing.
Right.
It stays there forever, and that's ultimately the end. So now I just slide it through and put the nut on it.
We're about to see a magic trick.
The most common asked question while I'm doing this is, how do you tighten that nut on there from the inside?
The secret is there is no nut.
It comes. Gotta be here. Do me damage. Okay. So the nut is on the outside, and I just slide it in from the inside. That's the secret. Keep it clean. So friction alone keeps it from coming apart.
Right.
Stresses a lot of people out watching me. But that's the part I hooked to. Put a little dope on the thread so it reduces the friction for tightening the jam nut on. I'm gonna hop down here. Okay. So there's a rubber washer seal on the inside and one on the outside. I put it over here by design so I can get a wrench on it.
Right.
And this collar goes on. On the inside is the exact opposite concave.
So let me ask you this: when you buy a pitless adapter, do you have to know the diameter of your well casing? 6 inch, 8 inch, 12 inch.
Right. This is good for 6 and 8 inch.
Okay.
Or maybe even 4 to 8. Because it's that rubber gasket's pretty forgiving. Casing 5 through 12.
5 through 12. Yeah, that really is forgiving.
That's because of that big old gasket. But as you can see, it's meant for basically 6 right now.
Yeah.
I've actually ran them through this with a little bit of grinder help. I've ran them through poly tanks for like easy pump hookups.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And
save you a lot of time.
You got to grind a little bit on them because they're not, since they're a flat wall. I just turn this one around and grind them flat. Man said stop when it squeaks. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So that's it. Now I just gotta hook my ditch fittings in, tie that pipe in, finish my conduit run. You guys come back.
That'd be awesome. That's cruising. So this blue wire will be our tracer wire, and it'll let us, if we ever have to come out and locate the water line or the control wires, we can trace this blue wire and be able to find it real easy.
Got it.
I didn't know they put chaser wires on there. That's cool.
Well,
So you
it's
can always-
inexpensive, but it would save all sorts of time with the machine.
So I don't have to even map it, really.
It's actually a code requirement.
The tracer wire.
They would make me dig this up.
Really?
No question about it. They gave us warnings for too long, and it's over. It's not in, you're digging.
You're digging. Put one in.
Wow.
And so here's where the problem lies. I got people that think they're doing me a favor and they'll run the water line for me. They don't put the wire in.
Oh boy.
Then we're in trouble.
And then I'm looking at him like, he tried to help me, but it actually caused me a lot of grief.
Wow.
And they don't like that because we're friends, right? So then, or they'll run a green tracer wire out. Still won't go.